Team that scores the 2 points gets it right back, and there goes Ebner. Tristan Ebner in a foot race. Can he do it again? Yes, he can. His second kickoff return for a touchdown tonight, his fourth overall.
The 4 o'clock hour is sponsored by Boozer's Jewelers, the wedding ring store, specializing in custom jewelry and repair, all in-house. Here's David Smoke and Paul Catalina.
All right, here we go. This 4 o'clock hour. We start the 4 o'clock hour with one of our favorite people ever, John Gallagher, head basketball coach for the Hartford Hawks. The last time we talked with him, Baylor was on the verge of winning the national title, and even afterwards, they had won it, and he joined us many times from the time Hartford opened up against Baylor to start the NCAA tournament to win. They beat Gonzaga to win it all. And, John, I got to start with this. Man, first of all, it's great to see your face. Great to have you on the show. But I was like, how do I start this segment? What the hell's going on in Hartford?
Well, before we get to Hartford, let's talk about the parade. I mean, did you enjoy it? I mean, first off, congratulations to you guys, to Coach Drew. I mean, what a run. What a run. And, forget about me for a second. You know how happy I was for, Scott Drew now becomes, him and Jim Calhoun, the two greatest program builders in the history of college basketball. Mm-hmm. And I'm really happy for you, Smokey, Paul, and just the whole crew because, I fell in love with you guys. I fell in love with the school. And, damn, I didn't know much about Waco or the area, but I'm a big fan.
Well, we did the same with you, man. The message boards, all of the people who listened to the segments, watched our segments, they love you. Appreciated all the input you gave us, the insight, because you hit it on the head. You saw that after you met, you had a little sliver there in that opening game, and then you saw them take off after that. So, and Craig's off today, and he sends his highs as well, hellos as well. John, when did you know this was coming with the administration?
So, here's what happens. The Baylor game ends. I go back to my room. My ops guy says to me, look, the flight, we have to get out tonight because of COVID. They want everybody out. Our flight leaves in 2.5 hours. I put in the JW, I put the shower on. I went to the fridge. I cracked a beer. I poured the beer, and I got a phone call by, somebody within the university that's a friend. Said, look, Division III. And then I got a call from a couple coaches. By the way, that beer is still sitting there. I never even sipped it.
Oh,
okay.
Yeah.
And I didn't even get in. I took a quick shower, but I packed, and my mind started racing. So I didn't even get to enjoy it. I have a lot of thoughts on it, but really, I came to when the announcement happened Thursday night. I put a message out there that I sat down and I met with the team and I said, look, probably have 7 guys that can play at a high level. All right, we have 2 really good transfers coming in. And I met with everybody. I said, what do you want to do here? I can't convince you to stay. But I'm staying because I had a couple opportunities to roll out. And I know I'm crazy, like you may understand, but I don't leave a neighborhood when it's at its weakest point. That's just not how this guy rolls. It's not how my dad raised me. My dad was a crane operator for General Electric before he became a lawyer. He worked the night shift from 12 at night to 8 in the morning. And when he went for the 9 interviews at the top 9 Philadelphia law firms, he wore his crane outfit. Okay? He wore his crane outfit because he wanted them to know that they were going to get a crane operator at heart. And I wanted my players to know that they were getting a guy that wasn't leaving the boat. Okay, so everyone stayed committed. And everyone is in. And this is going to be the best team that we ever have here. And we're going to be right there for an NCAA tournament bid again. And my point to you is, through this tough time, I still think we're going to be Division I. I still think something good's going to come of it. But like guys like me, or I'm not running. I'm not ducking. One of my best friends died at 40, and he used to have this line when he walked in the casino. Okay. He'd say, "Don't blink. Don't blink." Okay. Okay. And I thought about him. His name was Mark Quinlan, and we used to call him Quinny. And it was "Don't blink, Quinny." All right. And I'm telling you, we didn't blink. And when all the players came back, and look, I cried Friday morning. I had tears running down my face Friday morning. And my college coach called me, Phil Martelli. And he's now a associate head coach at Michigan. And Phil had a great line. He said, a politician, John Lewis's line was, "I'm tired of looking at things why they happen to me. And I start to look at why they happen for me." And for some reason, this is going to be great for us. And we start practice May 17th, our first practice. And we got one last ride together, and we are going to make this the funnest year ever.
I believe you.
Yeah, you kind of seem as you got that major league when they find out the owner is working against them. Like, there's only one thing to do, right? That's all you can do right now, right? Is just go win.
You want me to live with resentment? I don't live in that world. That's a dark room in a bad house. Okay? It's a dark room in a bad house. And, this is going to be, I told the players, this is going to be one of the funnest years of my life. I'm going to coach like you wouldn't. I'm going to coach my brains out. You come into practice Monday, May 17th, it's going to have the intensity of a March practice. So, look, we're not blinking and we're not ducking.
John, you mentioned a couple of transfers. They're coming, right? You had mentioned that to us, I think 2 or 3, 4 weeks ago, that you had some people coming in, and they're also they're ready to they stay committed to you, correct?
They stayed committed.
That's awesome.
And I'll never forget these kids, because the transfer portal's hot and heavy right now.
Good Lord, it's crazy.
And I want to say this, like, I'm about to get another commitment here, and the kid that's committed to me is an elite shooter. Like, and I said to my staff, like, we've had the greatest run of the last 4 years in the history of the school. And usually this is where people want to springboard the program. Mm-hmm. And for whatever the reason, it didn't happen. Okay. I'm enjoying putting this team out there this year. We're going to play Duke at Duke. We're trying to get it 3 or 4 more high major games. And Smokey, I don't know if you can tell, I was down in the dumps. I'm totally flipped. I got the juice. I got the energy. We got 320 days with this group, and it's going to be so much fun.
The next time I feel down, I'm going to watch this interview and listen to every word you've said, because anyone else who's having a bad day or thinks they're having a bad day needs to also listen to you because of what you're saying. Has there been any concern? I saw some of the feedback immediately. There's people talking about the budget and money. A lot of people like, hey, how can we help? Is there any concern about administration at all? I mean, you're good with them. Everything they understand. You're going to stick with this right now. Everything good with that?
I haven't talked to anybody.
Yeah. Now, I want to go back to that. Did you ever, is it true what Scott Van Pelt said on SportsCenter one night when he does that late show? You never received any kind of congratulatory or great job text from the administration?
No.
Not even like, you're going to the tournament. Not, you won the conference tournament. Not you made us proud. None of that. The athletic director did. She's been wonderful. Sure.
She's been wonderful. No. didn't hear from anybody. But look, it is what it is. I come from a neighborhood outside of Philly called Delco, and when you try to figure other people out, there's a great line Fran Dunphy, the old coach at Temple and Penn, used to say, my job's not to figure out what you're thinking. My job's not to figure out what they're thinking, man.
Man.
So
You're such a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, now you mentioned, Coach, a couple of high major games. Now, have you guys reached out to maybe come visit us here at the 254?
Yeah. What do we need to do?
Well, what do we need to do to make this happen?
Actually, let's do it. Let's get Scott. Let's do it. I want to come down, have dinner with you guys, bring the ball club down.
Oh yeah.
And see my favorite crew down there. I'm serious. If you can get the game, I'm playing it.
Well, okay. I'm going to put it on. I'm going to call Mac Rhodes and the AD and Scott, and I don't have any idea what the schedule looks like. And I thought that why not? And I know that that's not going to be enough. That's some money for you to come down, but. Oh man!
Well, it'll be a fun couple days. I'll just tell you that right now.
One of the things you got to realize about coaching, and this is put it to it. I used to work with a guy named Fran O'Hanlon. He's a legend. 26 years at Lafayette College, still there. When I was young assistant, and he had a great line to me. He said, coaching, you have to be able to lie down with pain, like it's a bed, and you have to be able to sleep with it. And then when you get up in the morning, you got to attack the pain. At the end of the day, this is painful. I'm not sitting here saying it's not painful. I'm just saying the way I was raised, the youngest of 53 first cousins, all Irish Catholic from Philly. Pain is a friend. I don't look at it as an enemy. Adversity is a friend. I don't look at it as an enemy. There's going to be something good happens. I could have rolled out, could have went to another Division I school and took the players. But what would that say to the neighborhood that I've been trying to create? How about all of the donors? How about the CEO of Hartford Healthcare, 34,000 employees? He bet on our program 4 years ago. You want me to call Jeff Flax up, the CEO, and say, hey, Jeff, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
I'm not built like that. Now I can look myself in the mirror and said, look, I gave this neighborhood everything I had. Everything I had. Every ounce of sweat, tear, blood, everything. I've given it to this university.
53 first cousin. How many of them are also named John? I'm Italian Catholic, so I know this. I don't know if we're at 53, but we're in the mid 30s.
So my mom's the youngest of 12. John's, there's probably 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Okay, that's not too bad.
6.
From Scott, I love the Hartford coach. From Brandon, awesome dude. And of course, we love you as well. For those who may not quite understand what happened late last week, the administration at Hartford, this had been simmering, voted to eventually make a transition from Division I down into Division III. John Gallagher and his team met. They said, we're not going anywhere. We're going to take this head on. It's not an immediate transition, but it has to affect some things immediately. How has the neighborhood responded in supporting you since the announcement? Unbelievable.
It's fascinating. So the one of the most successful businessmen in the country is a guy named Alan Lazowski from Laz Parking, L-A-Z. It's the largest valet parking company in the world, and their headquarters are in Hartford. Alan Lazowski, Laz, started his first valet spot in 1981. Now he has New York City, everywhere. Okay. Alan Lazowski is like all about the neighborhood, and he reached out, and he's called me every day. The CEO of Hartford Healthcare, you got all the union boss of the fire department, Jason Diaz, the Hartford Fire Department. The head of the Boys and Girls Club. I mean, the biggest car dealership in the state of Connecticut, Brad Hoffman. Brad is like incensed at how he can keep us Division I. And look, that's not my fight. My fight is to make sure we stay a championship team this year. The powers that be above me, I don't live in that world. You know, that's a, you know, that's something that, you know, I'll speak to you guys about after next year. Is I don't live in that world. That's a foreign world to me.
You are amazing. You know, you really are. I didn't know.
It's not me. It's my faith. It's my faith.
Well, that
you know?
too, but you all the stories, all the people you've brought up, all the different type of people you brought up, from what your dad and the crane operator and all the things. I've learned something just listening to you, and we all could learn something listening to you as well. I didn't know if I reached out. I texted you a couple of times. You and I shared a couple of different texts, but I wasn't sure if you could come on. And my God, when Sarah sent a note to me earlier today, hey, do you have 4 o'clock available? We made it available because we wanted to hear from you. Just wanted to see you, say hi to you, hope you're doing well. And I'll get that contract from Baylor to you sometime here in the next 24 hours for a non-conference game, by the way.
I love it. And I want you to know that you guys are in the neighborhood. You're a part of the neighborhood. And I'm going to send you some T-shirts down with the neighborhood on the back. And at the end of the day, the neighborhood's about living for others. And we have a line that says, it's not about you. This world's not about you. And the players that have stuck by me right now and by the neighborhood have really look, I was choked up Friday when they said we're in. I mean, that sure. I walked out of that room and I was like, man, this is we won the title. It was an unbelievable feeling. There was no better feeling than walking out of a room Friday afternoon and your team saying, let's run it back. Let's defend the title.
Yeah, you're 1-0 off of that. Also, Diane, by the way, on our text line, congratulations to Coach's daughter. Posted that she'd won big for the neighborhood. She won a state title in the balance beam. Is that right?
She won the state title in the balance beam, comes home, it gives me a kiss and says, Dad, I did it for the neighborhood. Oh. I actually got choked up when she said it. Dad, I did it for the neighborhood.
Man, you're a great friend of ours. You're a great friend of the show. You're a great friend of Baylor athletics and fans. And we will always invite you on this show. And if, in fact, somehow Paul and I muscle up on Mac Rhodes and Scott Drew, I cannot wait. We don't have a JW Marriott, but hell, there's so many hotels going up in Waco. We might have one by next year. Yeah. I don't know. I mean, it's. They
can all crash at my place.
Yeah,
It'll be
you
fun.
Can stay with us. The heck with that. All your players.
I'll take the couch.
Yeah. John, thank you for who you are. And seriously, what a run. And I'm so proud of your players for sticking with it as well. And the men coming in, the incoming recruits and commits and transfers, whatever else. God bless you, man. Stay who you are. Don't ever change, okay?
I appreciate you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.
Yes, sir. That's John Gallagher. He is he's part of we're a part of his neighborhood. He's a part of ours. I do think, like somebody put up, I can't wait for 4 o'clock to hear from him.
Oh, yeah, it's great.
I could learn so many things from him. So many things from him. Anyone that listened to that can learn so many things from John Gallagher.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. That was it. I'm always entertained. I'm always educated. It's great. And you you think about walking into a room where all 9 of those guys could have been like, look, we gotta go, coach. And
there's a transfer portal.
What could he have said?
Nothing.
I mean, even like, all right, I get it.
Half of them would have said we're staying, 4 would have said we're transferring. You can't argue with him.
But
right?
yeah, I mean, like he could have, because you don't know what you're walking into in the room.
It's a movie
at all.
It's a movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, because winning their conference is hard. It's not like just something that they dominate that. It's hard. Remember when we had, oh my goodness, I forgot who it was. It might have been Seth Greenberg telling us about how their conference is hard, and the seeding that they got against the number 1 seed was kind of screwed up, that they shouldn't have been a 16th seed, but maybe a 13th or 14th seed. And remember, for about 10 or 12 minutes against Baylor, they were scratching and clawing. We were watching the game right here. Paul was panicking. I was sitting there going, "Oh, they're going to be fine." Man,
Armstrong, can you confirm or deny that accusation that Paul was panicking?
8 minutes left in the first half. You guys were like pulling your hair out. I said they're going to be fine.
I remember it the other way around.
So do I.
It's Armstrong's last show. Emma's here to take his place.
Hope you learned a lot here, Emma.
Hey,
the last hour.
we're going to have Jared Sandler, but he's going to push it back to after, in between Bryce Simpson and John McClain because of the interview he has to do for the pregame show. Rangers, by the way, open a series tonight